Hey guys, what's up? Corey Wilkins here with Ears Only Audio. It's been a busy week in the studio, lots of cool stuff going on. I'm doing a radio show every week that's being recorded here, and I'm co-hosting it. It's called ARC Radio. You can find that on SoundCloud, ARC Radio. You should definitely check it out. We're playing lots of really fantastic independent artists from Southern California, and some of the stuff has actually been recorded here. We got a song debuting this coming week that I did. It was my first ever hip hop session, flying solo with this guy named The Wreck, and the song came out real good. We're real proud of the final result. Anyhow, with that aside, today I just want to do a quick review of the Waves Audio CLA-2A plugin, which is the emulation of Chris Lord-Alge's LA-2A compressor. I had a session yesterday with this extraordinarily talented young lady named Bri Nicole. She actually tracked this song a couple of months ago and just thought she could do a better job. So she just came in and redid the whole thing, and I'm going to tell you right now, it came out just phenomenal, and her voice just lends itself perfectly to really demonstrate where an LA-2A can really shine. Don't forget, if you like what you're seeing and hearing on this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me real quick. I appreciate it a ton. Let's dig in and see what we've got. So this song is called All the Bright Places, and I did use the new Waves CLA-2A on the lead vocal. So let's just go ahead and listen to it with everything in, all the plugins engaged, and see what we have here.
I took your hand, we went wandering, we found all the bright places and filled up the spaces that were left in this town.
Okay, so the cool thing about this is even when she goes into that real soft singing where she's almost whispering, it still is completely audible. Now let's open up this LA-2A emulation and see what's going on.
Plugin, CLA-2A window, FXTB in FXTB.
Okay, so you have the peak reduction.
48.28, peak reduction parameter.
Which is basically the modern equivalent of that would be the threshold.
37.36, gain parameter.
Then you have the gain, which is the makeup gain. Basically, now this compressor is actually handling the makeup gain for itself and for another compressor that's going on in front of it. So you'll notice when we bypass this, the volume is going to be lower because there's another compressor that's sort of fast attack, fast release, catching some of those transients, just some of the peaks, her loudest peaks when she sings. It's just kind of knocking them down a bit. And then the LA-2A is sort of really taking her very smooth voice and accentuating it with that staggered release time that I was talking about.
50.0, high frac parameter.
Then we have this high-pass filter, basically, that's part of the side chain. So you can tell it not to compress the lower notes. You can tell it to not allow the lower notes to trigger the compression. Or you can tell it that you want it to.
Comp/limiter.
This is the compressor or limiter choice. This is set to compression right now. That's about a 4-to-1 ratio. Limiter is infinity to 1.
Out of FXTB.
Now let's solo up this vocal so you can really hear what this thing's doing.
Next previous CLA target button effect 5 plugin effect 5.
So we're going to start with it bypass so you can hear it when it comes in. Now try and ignore, like I said, the bump in volume that we're going to get from makeup gain from two different compressors being here. And just pay attention to the tone and how the length of her words changes.
I took your hand, we went
Press.
wandering, we found all the bright
Press effect bypass
places
button.
and filled up the spaces that were left in this town. So
Press
take
up.
my hand, please go wandering.
Press effect bypass.
I hope you find
Press on.
better
Effect.
bright place.
Okay, so you really hear that
Plug-in effect bypass button.
this allows everything that she's singing to really come out front in a smooth manner. It's not, this compressor is not real grabby like say an 1176 would be. It's a very gradual, very smooth transition, especially from the compressed signal back to the uncompressed signal. Now let's go ahead and bypass this with the music in so you can hear, again, there's going to be the drop in volume, but you're going to hear the drop in volume sort of towards the end of where the compression is happening even more drastically. So let's put this in bypass.
Press effect bypass button.
I took your hand, we went wandering, we found all the bright places and filled up the spaces that were left in this town.
Press effect.
Take my hand, please go wandering. I hope you find better bright places and fill up the spaces that were left in your.
So you really hear it, especially when she gets to that whisper part where she's barely projecting at all. She's a very dynamic vocalist. So what I love is we've still been able to preserve the dynamic of the performance to a large degree while making it very easy to hear the distinction of what she's saying, even when she's nearly whispering. And that's one of the magical things that an CLA-2A can do. So this is the Waves Audio CLA-2A. I really, really like it. It does exactly what I hoped it would do when I bought it. Now, does it sound like the original hardware unit? You know what? I've never been in the same room as the original hardware units. I've never had my hands on one, so I don't know. Not only do I not know, I also just don't care. There are so many variables for analog gear that people who really try to chase down a specific analog sound with software, I think are just kind of missing the mark a little bit, because that analog gear can be very different. Not only are there manufacturing tolerances built in that are going to affect the sound, but analog gear can change based on how long was the last time you had it serviced. How far out of spec is it? A lot of the gear that you hear on really amazing records, it's been a long time since it's been completely redone, and it's out of spec by quite a ways. And the engineers that still use a lot of outboard gear will tell you that. Also, it can depend on how warm the temperature is outside, can affect the sound of analog gear. So you're never going to get to a place where software and analog are exact copies of each other, because the software is ones and zeros. The analog is real live moving parts. It doesn't make one better than the other. That's not a rabbit hole I'm willing to go down right now. But this does what you would expect sort of the stereotypical CLA-2A style compression to do. Does it sound like an actual piece of hardware? Like I said, I don't know. And I don't care. It does the thing that CLA-2As are known for doing. And when I bought this plugin, I wanted something that did that thing, and I got it. So that's the CLA-2A. I was real happy to be able to purchase it when it was on sale on Waves Audio. So definitely watch their website, because they do run a lot of different specials, and you can get some amazing deals like what I got this for. This is also a great compressor to use on bass guitar, on background vocals, on really anything that has longer sustained notes, just due to the nature of how this compressor releases. So maybe it's not your first choice for drums or extremely staccato vocals. Maybe sometimes it can find a great use in those departments, but this is really known for smoothing out a more legato type performance. And it just, this vocal, if there was ever a vocal that was sang that could be benefited by an LA-2A, this one right here is it. So I'm really happy to have this plugin because now I can reach for a single tool and get a vocal sound or a bass sound that has that sort of classic release profile and shape of an LA-2A compressor. And I mean, you just can't beat it. Listen to this.
I took your hand, we went wandering. We found all the bright places and filled up the spaces that were left in this town. So take my hand, please go wandering. I hope you find better bright places and
All right, guys, I'm Corey Wilkins from Ears Only Audio. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it a whole ton. Come back for more. Leave some comments. What are some of your favorite compressors to use in your vocal chain? I would love to know. And do you have a favorite sort of software emulation of an LA-2A? Do you like the Universal Audio one better? Do you like the Waves one better? I know that there's a couple others. So I would love to hear what's your favorite LA-2A emulation and what are some of the best applications that you've found for it. So leave some comments in the comments section for me. I appreciate it a lot. And share this page with a friend. And don't forget to tune into my radio show. Search for Arc Radio on SoundCloud. All right, guys. I'll talk to you all real soon. Take care. Have a good one.